Today I want to talk to season extension, growing in really wet conditions, and continuous production. So let's go ahead and get into how we're doing that here. We're using a grow tunnel. We're using a combination of grow tunnel mixed in with paper pot transplants, also using a jang seeder and direct sowing, to whichever is the best tool to get the job done and keeping our beds constantly in production, right? So what do we have? I'll walk you through some of the things. When we want to be continuous in production, I need to look in here. I'm growing greens. I'm growing my coriander, I'm growing my lettuce, I'm growing my salad mix, and I'm growing an Asian greens. And currently this year I'm growing carrots in here because this is when we want to talk to season extension, so we'll get into that idea. This is a bed of lettuce that we harvested yesterday. We came through with the salad cutter and we just cut the tops off of a lot of this to get small cuts. We're kind of progressing through. This has now had its second cut on this lettuce bed. This is a bed of salad over here mix. We haven't taken a cut on this yet. And the reason is when we look at it, we've always got usually 2 to 3 beds in production of a particular crop. So I can be having one coming, this is fully ready for market next week. This lettuce is going to be ready for market. It was ready this week, it was ready last week, and we'll get one more cut off of it. The sections when we get down there, you can see where we've taken all of our rocket out. I can step over to a bed over here and I have another set of rocket that's ready to go to market by next week. And 10 days ago I planted rocket that'll be ready for 3 weeks from now. And then yesterday I planted a bed of rocket that will be ready. So it's just that we'll actually have 4 beds of rocket in production. As of yesterday, today we're back down to 3. And keeping that constant production for our region, rocket sells really well. So we move a lot of rocket. It's really fast and timely. Lettuce is something we're going to need to bump up in here. So I think when we talk about these polytunnels, one important thing is, they talk about season extension, but we also want to talk about the capacity to be at market every week. If I'm not at market selling lettuce and salad and coriander this week, ultimately somebody has to go find someone else to get it, and then they may not come back. So it's really important when you have this type of opportunity is, irrespective of what's happening with my weather events, I can have continuous production. Now I have lettuce, I have coriander, I have salads, I have everything growing outside. But I know at the very least I can show up at market with a reasonable quantity that I'm pumping out of here. And at this point, we're actually getting enough production here to ensure we meet the market every week. And our outside production is feeding our farm, feeding our crew, feeding our community, and giving us that excess when we need it. And we can move that through other channels. They may be not as profitable, but I want to make sure for my farmer's market, which is my most profitable market, I actually have high quality lettuces going every single week, and greens, which is one of our big revenue items in there. Having this tunnel gives me the capacity to have 5, 6 different greens that I can bring to market every week. So it's really important. Knowing how to handle your rotation. Also, what's incredible in here is how we can work with the biology of keeping constant bed rotation, where we're moving the biology staying in the bed. I can harvest a bed, prep the bed, and sow the bed again, all within an hour. These beds are 15 meters long, 140 wide, a bit wider than I'd want, but 140 wide. Harvest all this, prep this bed, and get everything done in under an hour between harvest, prep, and planting. So that's pretty incredible because I'm not having to work as hard to get my soil together. Because all the things that we can do with liquid compost, with nutrient rotation, with crop rotation, really build the biology in the soil. And the biology in the soil is doing the work that I need. That's still alive. That roots are right now releasing sugars. Those were in a plant yesterday. They were feeding the plant. That plant's leaves were collecting sun. It was using photosynthesis to turn that in, to break down minerals in the soil, and it's still here, it's still thriving. And when I come in with coriander in here, it's gonna say, wow, there's awesome life, everything's thriving, everything's pumping in here, I'm ready to go straight to work. it's not going to take the shock that it gets when I go into a stale bed. And it says, oh, there's no biology in here, I got to spark this up. I got some spare space on the inside of this row because this was rocket yesterday. And all this has been harvested, gone to market. Now I'm sitting down saying, well, do I wait till I terminate the whole bed? No, I can just come straight in. So today, I'm just gonna put paper pots in, and because it's a thin area, I'm not gonna use a paper pot seeder. I'm just gonna take my hand, I'm gonna cut a groove, and I'm gonna put them in strips. And I got 500 corianders. Yeah, just over 500, about 500, 264 times 2 of coriander to plant in here. And I'll get that in, and then hopefully, I'll set a clock, I should be done in 20 minutes. And right in front of the coriander that's over there, I've sowed 3 more rows of coriander. So as I'm pulling the coriander out in the back of the bed, the 3 rows in the back of the bed, it's making light and room for the 3 rows that are coming up in front of it. And those will start to shoot up. And so it will be a constant production in the same bed, in different beds, plants with different plants, all enabling a lot of diversity in its biology so that we can ensure that we're not letting pests go rampant in an area, that we can manage them, that crops are moving through, that the soil is building in the way that we want it to, and we can stay in this production. It's getting really hot in here. I need to get on with getting this planted. The one thing that absolutely clear is you want to start before sunrise when you have a grow tunnel, and you want to be done. It's coming up on 8 a.m. We're in May, which is basically winter for us, and it's already 10 degrees hotter in here than it is outside. I know it's not hit 26 yet though. It's probably right on the edge. The fans haven't come on. So they'll come on when I hit 26 degrees, and we'll get that airflow. And if it was summer, I'd have my shade over. That would be going out midday, but it's not summer and the sun's perfectly good for us to keep working in here. Awesome, I'm gonna get on planting out the rest of these beds.